And we have our second Forerunner on course. Our second Forerunner has now crossed the finish line, and we will have the third Forerunner on course now. And our fourth Forerunner is now on course. And our fourth and final Forerunner has now crossed the finish line. Thank you to all the Forerunners. Ladies and gentlemen, we have one more Forerunner who's now on course. Our Forerunner has now crossed the finish line. Thank you very much. So today we will have 98 men starting this European FIS European Cup slalom race here in Levi. And we have Fadi Janutin from Switzerland with bib number 1 starting at the start gate. And on course now. And we have Fadi Janutin crossing the finish line with a time 52:36. And next up with bib number 2, we have Emil Pettersson from Sweden. And we have Emil Pettersson on course now, and after him we will have bib number 3, Hans Kral Madsen from Norway. Emil Pettersson crosses the finish line with a time 52:81. We have Hans Kral Madsen with bib number 3 ready at the starting gate. And Hans is on course now. Next up we will have Matthias Iten starting with bib number 4. Hans Kral Madsen crosses the finish line with a time of 54:98 and goes into 3rd place. Next up from Switzerland we have Matthias Iten starting with bib number 4. Matthias Iten now on course, and next up at the starting gate we have Noel von Grüningen with bib number 5. Today's course here in Levi has been marked by Andreas Kollenborg from Norway, and we have 67 gates altogether. And Matthias Iten crosses the finish line with the time of 52:47 and goes into second place. From Switzerland, we have Noel von Grüningen at the start gate. And Noel von Grüningen is now on course. And next up we have Simon Rüland from Austria. And Noel von Grüningen crosses the finish line with a time of 52:67 and goes into second place. And on course we have bib number 6, Simon Rüland from Austria. Next up we have Reto Schmiedinger from Switzerland with bib number 7. And Simon Rüland goes into first place with the time of 52:34. On course now we have Reto Schmiedinger from Switzerland. Next up with the bib number 8 we have Jesper Pohjolainen from Finland. Athletes, please move away from the finish area. Athletes, please move away from the finishing area. And at the start gate, we have our own Finn, Jesper Pohjolainen, getting ready to go. Jesper Pohjolainen with the bib number 8 is now on course. Next up, we have Fabian Himmelsbach from Germany. Jesper Pohjolainen has crossed the finish line with a time of 52.73 and he goes into 6th place. And we have bib number 9, Fabian Himmelsbach, on course now. And after him, we will have Jakob Greber. Fabian Himmelsbach crosses the finish line in 6th place with a time of 52.70. And we have bib number 10, Jakob Greber, now on course. Jakob Greber crosses the finish line in the position 9th with a time 52.93. Next up at the start gate we have Tian Marov, who is now on course. And getting ready at the start gate we have Aingeru Garay Fernandez from Spain with the bib number 12. Marov crosses the finish line in 3rd position with a time 52.46. Next up, Aingeru Garay Fernandez from Spain, now on course. And after him we have Corrado Barbera getting ready at the start gate with bib number 13. Aingeru Garay Fernandez finished. And we have Jakob Greber now on course. After Corrado Barbera, we will have Gustav Wisting from Sweden starting. The time for Barbera is 53:25 and goes into 11th place. Gustav Wisting now on course, and after him we will have Kilian Pramstaller from Austria. And Gustav Wisting crosses the finish line with a time 52:57. Gustav goes into 6th place. And on course now we have Kilian Pramstaller with bib number 15. Kilian Pramstaller crosses the finish line in 13th position with a time of 54:06.
Here, no problem?
Maybe on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is too many.
Yeah. You have to come a little further out here. Thank you.
We have Axel Lindqvist from Sweden with bib number 16 ready at the start gate. And Axel Lindqvist on course now. After him we will have another Swede, Adam Hofstad with bib number 17. Axel Lindqvist from Sweden crosses the finish line with a time of 53:38 in 13th position. And on course now, Adam Hofstad from Sweden. After him we will have Sandro Simonet from Switzerland. Adam crosses the finish line in 12th position with the time 53:03. Next up on course, Sandro Simonet. Sandro Simonet from Switzerland now on course, and after him we will have another skier from Switzerland, Reto Maschler, with the bib number 19. It's a DNF for Sandro Simonet. Bib number 19, Reto Maschler, now on course. At the start gate we have Auguste Alnette from France getting ready to start, while Reto Maschler crosses the finish line with a time of 53:27 and goes into 14th place. And we have Auguste Alnette on course now with bib number 20. After him we will welcome Joel Luetolf from Switzerland. Allnet crosses the finish line in 16th position with a time of 54:01. Now we have Joel Lutolf from Switzerland on course with bib number 21. Joel Lutolf crosses the finish line in 9th position with a time of 52:72. And next up on course we have Simon Morberger from France. Simon is from Italy, sorry. At the start gate, we have Moritz Tudrell getting ready to start with bib number 23. Athletes, please move away from the finish area. Simon Morberger crossing the finish line in 11th position with a time of 52:77. Moritz Tudrell from Austria now on course. Zudrell crosses the finish line in 18th position with a time of 53:39. Next up we have Matteo Canins on course. Matteo Canins crossing the finish line and he goes into 3rd place with a time of 52:41. Next up on course we have Stefano Pizzato with bib number 25. Stefano Pisato crosses the finish line with a time of 53:55 and he goes into 20th position. Next up we have William Hansson. William Hansson crosses the finish line in 14th position with a time of 52:82. Next up from Norway, we have Mikkel Ramsøy with bib number 27 on course now. Mikkel Ramsøy crosses the finish line with a time of 52:27 and goes into first place. We have a new leader. Now on course, Adrian Meissen from Germany. Adrian crosses the finish line in 20th position with a time of 53:33. And at the start gate we have Jesper Wahlqvist from Norway, who is now on course. Jesper Wahlqvist crosses the finish line with a time of 54:01. He goes into the 24th position. And next up on course we have Lukas Kongsholm. After this we will have a small break. And following Kongsholm we will have Camden Palmqvist with bib number 31. And we have Lukas Kongsholm in the finish area. He goes into 24th position with a time of 53.77. Our current leader, ladies and gentlemen, Mikkel Ramsøy. So in first position at this point we have Mikkel Ramsøy. Then in second position Simon Ryland. Third position Fadri Janutin. Fourth position Matteo Kanins. Fifth position Tian Marov. And sixth position Matthias Iten. Just in a few minutes we will be continuing with bib number 31, Camden Palmqvist. At the start gate now we have Camden Palmqvist from the United States of America getting ready to start his first run here in Levi. And Palmqvist now on course. Next up getting ready we have Hugh McAdam with bib 32. Palmqvist crosses the finish line and goes into 23rd position with a time of 53.44. And on course now we have Hugh McAdam. Hugh McAdam crosses the finish line. And McAdam goes into 25th position with a time of 53.74. Next up, on the steep section now we have Jimmy Krupka with bib number 33. Krupka crossing the finish line now, going into 13th position. Lenz Haschler now on course. Lenz Haschler from Switzerland crossing the finish line with a time of 53.50 and going into 24th position. And on course at the same time we have Thomas Lardon with bib number 35. Thomas Lardon from France has crossed the finish line with a time of 54.24 and goes into 31st position. Now on course we have Tommaso Saccardi from Italy with bib number 36. Tommaso Saccardi from Italy crosses the finish line and he goes into 10th position with a time of 52.70. And on course we already have Oskar Andreas Sandvik with bib number 37 from Norway. Sandvik has entered the finish area and he goes into 9th position with a time of 52.64. Meanwhile, on course with bib number 38, Jeremy Lagier. Jeremy comes from France. He's now on the steep part. Lagier crosses the finish line in 28th position with a time of 53.73. And on course at the same time we have bib number 39, Baptiste Sambui. And bib number 40 also starting, Francesco Riccardo Zucchini from Italy. Sambui has crossed the finish line in 22nd position with a time of 53.28. We have the number 40, Francesco Riccardo Zucchini on course on the steep part now. At the same time, we have bib number 41, Stanley Butek, on course. It is a DNF for Zucchini from Italy. We are waiting for Stanley Butek. Now on the steep part. Stanley Butek from the United States of America crosses the finish line in 29th position with a time of 53.57. Now on course with bib number 42, we have Michal Jazicek. And Michal Jazicek crosses the finish line with a time of 54.76 and goes into 39th position. And we have bib number 43, Kalin Zlatkov, on course now, entering the steep part. Zlatkov crosses the finish line in 37th position with a time of 54.28. Meanwhile, entering the steep part of the slope, we have Piotr Habdas with a bib number 44. It is a DNF for bib number 44, Piotr. Bib number 45 is on course now, Riccardo Allegrini from Italy. Allegrini crossing the finish line now with a time of 54.27. On the steep part here, we have bib number 46, Ralf Seidler. Seidler crosses the finish line now with a time of 54.04 and goes into 35th position. Entering the steep part of the slope, here is Fabio Walsh with the bib number 47. Walsh comes from Austria. Walsh has crossed the finish line in 33rd position with a time of 53.78. It is a DNF for bib number 48. Now at the start gate, bib number 49, Oskar Heine from Austria. Heine crosses the finish line now and goes into 34th position with a time of 53.96. And now entering the steep part here, we have Alessandro Pizio with bib number 50. Pizio crosses the finish line now and goes into 34th position with a time of 53.83. We will now have a short break. After the short break, we have Jerzy Jacek with bib number 51 starting. Just a few minutes. Still in the leading position, Mikkel Ramsøy. We have bib number 51 on course now. Jerzy Jacek crosses the finish line in 47th position with a time of 55.15. And on course already on the steep part, we have Jakob Eisner with the bib number 52. And it is a DNF for 52 Jakob Eisner. On course now we have bib number 53 Marinus Senhofer. Senhofer now entering the steep section. Marinus Senhofer from Germany has crossed the finish line in 35th position with a time of 53.96. And soon coming to the finish line, we have Christoph Meisel with bib number 54. Meisel comes from Austria. And it is a DNF for Meisel with bib number 54. On the steep part here, we have bib number 55, Peder Lundar from Norway. Lundar crosses the finish line in 20th position with a time of 53.19. Matthias Höjby now on the steep section here with bib number 56. Höjby crosses the finish line in 36th position with the time of 53.90. Bib number 57, Thomas Barata now on the steep part. Barata comes from Spain. Thomas Barata crosses the finish line in 46th position with a time of 54.34. And on the steep section we have Antoine Azolin with bib number 58. Antoine Azolin crosses the finish line in 25th position with a time of 53.37. And with bib number 59, we have Paul Silvestre on the steep section here. Silvestre crosses the finish line. Max Geisler-Hauber with bib number 60 on course now. Geisler-Hauber crosses the finish line in 38th position with a time of 53.92. Entering the steep section we have Michel Brugger with bib number 61 from Switzerland. Michel crosses the finish line in 45th position with a time of 54.19. Now on the steep section, we have Eduardo Saracco. Saracco crosses the finish line now and goes into 30th position with a time of 53.55. Now on the steep section we have Cooper Puckett with bib number 63. Puckett crosses the finish line in 49th position with a time of 54.28. It is a DNF for number 64, Florian Kunz. On course now we have Jesperi Kemppainen with bib number 65. Jesperi Kemppainen from Finland crosses the finish line in 54th position with a time of 54.66. Now entering the steep section here, we have Jevin Palmqvist with bib number 66. Jevin comes from the United States. Jevin Palmqvist has crossed the finish line in 59th position with a time of 55.53. And now on the steep section here you can see Andrea Bertolini with bib number 67. Bertoldini crosses the finish line now and goes into 33rd position with a time of 53.61. Now on the steep section here we have Gleb Mosesov with bib number 68. It is a DNF for bib number 68, Gleb Mosesov. Now on the steep section here we have Dominique Zerho with bib number 69. Zerho crosses the finish line now in 60th position with a time of 55.38. On course now with bib number 70 we have Freddie Carrick-Smith from Great Britain. And it is a DNF for bib number 70, Carrick-Smith. At the moment in first position still Mikkel Ramsøy, and second position Simon Ryland, third position Fadri Janutin, fourth position Matteo Kanins, fifth position Tian Marovt, and sixth position Matthias Iten. At the start gate we have Max Ulir from Sweden getting ready to start their first run with bib number 71.
One step back before. Hello, one step. Thank you.
still good. Even though we don't play freestyle, still good.
Max Ulir from Sweden now on course.
Oh fuck. 200. Ah non, c'est like that.
Tu sais qu'il y a beaucoup de Grand Prix ou pas?
Non. Ah,
Là, c'est
bah là,
là, je pense qu'on voit un
c'est simple,
gros.
le top 30.
Il peut encore gagner là.
C'est simple, le top 30, c'est même pas un top, c'est même pas un top 10.
C'est dingue la densité. Hein.
Ouais, puis bon, il commence quand même assez facile. Il n'y a pas de DNF.
Puis le revêtement, il.
Ouais, mec.
Max Ulir has crossed the finish line in 41st position with a time of 53.93. Meanwhile, bib number 72, Marius Kristoffersen, has just started his run. Kristoffersen comes from Norway.
Don't worry.
Already come. Yeah, 2007, 2008.
C'est toi qui as dit dans le micro, et voilà,
Eh
ça
ben.
recommence.
Ça y est, ils ont retrouvé leur 2005 là. J'en ai 2005 je crois. Il était déjà avec Audi. Les jeunes ils sont là, on le connaît pas, mais tu vois, c'est lui qui a le cheat code et pan. Après il en a eu 2-3 qui ont bien bétonné quand même à un moment.
Il a fait une grosse graille.
Volquist, il a bétonné. J'étais dans les juste après les 30 là.
A good save by Kristoffersen in the steep part here, and he crosses the finish line in 63rd position with a time of 55.90.
Ah ouais? On vend?
Bib number 73, Luca Carrick-Smith, does not finish.
Ouais, à Choub, premier.
On course now, our own Finn Turo Torvinen with bib number 74.
Là, il découpe.
Oui, c'est ce qu'on m'a dit.
Voilà. Bon, comme d'hab, quoi, ça arrive pas. Il y en a un qui sort en haut, c'est lui.
Bib number 74, Turo Torvinen, has crossed the finish line in 53rd position with a time of 54.31. Bib number 75, Eirik Schau-Giskas, has not finished, so a DNF for bib number 75. Now on course we have bib number 76, Emil Keränen from Finland.
Il a bétonné. Classique.
Emil Keränen crosses the finish line in 61st position with a time of 55.09. On the steep section here, we have bib number 77, Alex Albert Serracanta, who does not finish, so a DNF for bib number 77. Now on course, bib number 78, Miha Oserban. A DNF for bib number 78, Miha Oserban.
4 dixièmes à tout le monde. S'arrête en bas là. Ce qui est pas très bien, mais quand il lâche, elle est 5e.
Just entering the steep part, Jonas Sanchez Cabanas with bib number 79.
Moi, ça m'intéresse. Là-haut, je
Ah ouais.
tout ce que je voyais, c'était conséquent.
Je pense que c'est là-haut que ça fait la vue, je pense. Plus que là. Là et là.
Ah là, l'enfant, avec la petite
Sanchez Cabanas has crossed the finish line in 66th position with a time of 56:20. And now entering the steep section here, we have Lukas Kraus with bib number 80. Kraus comes from Germany. Kraus Lukas has crossed the finish line in 67th position with a time of 56:76. Here you can see bib number 81, Erik Saravo. Erik Saravo crosses the finish line now in 61st position with a time of 55:05. On course now, bib number 82, Kakeru Hirai from Japan. It is a DNF for bib number 82, Kakeru Hirai. Now on course, bib number 83, Jonas Skabar. Skabar crosses the finish line now in 49th position with a time of 54:23. And on the steep part now, our flying Finn Salamo Sirviö with the bib number 84. Salomos Hirviö has crossed the finish line in 66th position with a time of 55:53. On the steep section, we have bib number 85, Leo Avocat Maulas from France. Avocat Maulas has crossed the finish line in 59th position with a time of 54:70. And on the steep section, you can already see bib number 86, Alex Rius Jimenez. Rius Jimenez has crossed the finish line in 62nd position with a time of 54:86. Now on course, we have Ioannis Antonio with bib number 87. It is a DNF for bib number 87, Ioannis Antonio. On course, we have bib number 88, Xavier Cornela Guitart. Cornela Guitart crosses the finish line in 58th position with a time of 54.66. Now on the steep section here, you can already see bib number 89, Florian Neumayer from Austria. Neumayer has crossed the finish line in 61st position with a time of 54.75. And on course, we have bib number 90, Augustin Bianchini. He has just entered the steep section here. And it is a DNF for bib number 90, Bianchini. At the start gate, we have Otto Oresik waiting for his turn with bib number 91. Oresik comes from Croatia.
Il y en a un que j'ai un doute, mais il est loin, c'est celui qui a. Je pense qu'il a. Il me semble qu'il l'a déjà sorti, c'est celui qui a pas pris la. Il n'est pas passé dans la bleue. Devant, 31.
Ouais, 200.
And we have Otto Oresik now on course with bib number 91.
Non, il va partir 10 dossards de mieux que la première. Voilà. Je vais voir aujourd'hui, 31. My battery was running low with the phone. Just 20, I need to.
We have Oresik with bib number 91 here on the steep section. Meanwhile, Roko Begovic with bib number 92 has already started. And it is a DNF for bib number 91, Oresik. On the steep section here, Roko Begovic with bib number 92 does not finish. A DNF for 92. Now on course we have bib number 93, Kasper Dyrbye from Denmark. Dyrbye has crossed the finish line. And on the steep section here, we have bib number 94, Emir Lokmic. Emir Lokmic has crossed the finish line in 70th position with a time of 55.48. And on the steep section here, we can see bib number 95, Marek Müller. Marek Muller has crossed the finish line in 73rd position with a time of 55.77. And on the steep section we have Alexa Tomovic with bib number 96. And it is a DNF for Tomovic, bib number 96. We have Aldo Tomasek, bib number 97 on the top part already going. We also have our final racer, Dimitro Shepyuk, with bib number 98 on course. Still waiting for Aldo Tomasek to cross the finish line at any moment. And Tomasek has crossed the finish line in 75th position with a time of 55.92. And it is a DNF for bib number 98, Dimitro Shepyuk. That concludes the first round here today in Levi.
Was that the first round?
Yeah.
Thank you.
The second round will start at 13:15, so that is 1:15 p.m. The standings after the first round here in Levi, we have in first position Mikkel Ramsøy. In second position we have Simon Ryland. Third position Fadri Janutin. Fourth position Matteo Kanins. And fifth position we have Tian Marovd. And sixth position Matias Iten. In seventh position we have Reto Schmidinger. In 8th position we have Gustav Wisting, 9th position Oskar Andreas Sandvik, and 10th position Noel von Grüningen.